Welcome to
Nay.
Do it.
Channel Everyone. Okay, wow. Episode 2026-0414. And we are diving straight into something that sounds like it's from a film school and a computer lab fusion. The paper is called Camera Artist, a multi-agent framework for cinematic language storytelling video generation. JJ, you're our resident AI architect. Multi-agent frameworks are your playground. What is the core problem this camera artist is trying to solve?
Thank you, Isabel. The core problem is quite fascinating right now. We have these amazing systems that can take a text script and automatically generate a video. They use a team of AI agents, one for planning, one for generating visuals, and so on. It's like automating the film crew, but the current results often feel fragmented. The story jumps. The shots don't connect. It lacks that deliberate filmic quality, the cinematic language. It's like having all the words for a sentence, but no grammar to make it flow.
Exactly, it's a technical workflow without a director's eye. You get a sequence of images, but not a cohesive narrative with pacing, emotion, or purpose in the camera work. The paper points out that existing systems lack explicit mechanisms for narrative continuity across shots, and for the deliberate use of cinematic techniques, so you might have a sad scene shot like a cheerful commercial. The feeling is all wrong.
So it's not just about making a video, it's about making a asterisk film asterisk with intention. You mentioned cinematic language, JJ, for our viewers who aren't film buffs. Can you break that down? What does that mean in AI terms?
Of course, think of cinematic language as the grammar of film. It's the set of rules and techniques directors use to tell the story visually, not just what you see, but how you see it. This includes shot types, like a close-up for emotion or a wide shot for context. Camera movement, like a slow push-in to create tension. Lighting, composition, in AI terms. This means the system needs to understand that the prompt a character realizes a terrible truth should be translated into specific visual directives. A slow zoom on their eyes, a shift to a cooler color palette, perhaps a shallow depth of field. Camera artist tries to bake this understanding into the process.
And the key innovation is how they do it. They add a dedicated cinematography shot agent to the agentic pipeline. This isn't just another step. It's a specialist. Its job is twofold. First, it uses something called recursive storyboard generation. Instead of planning all shots at once and moving on, it constantly looks back at the previous shot to ensure the next one makes narrative sense. This strengthens shot-to-shot continuity.
Recursive, meaning it loops back on itself, like it's checking its own work.
Precisely, it's like a director looking at the last shot they filmed and asking, okay, based on this, what is the most logical, impactful next shot? This prevents the jarring jumps. The second part is the cinematic language injection. This agent explicitly tags each shot in the storyboard with those filmic directives JJ mentioned. So the visual generation agents don't just get character walks into room. They get character walks into room, low-angle shot to emphasize power, slow tracking movement, high-contrast lighting.
That explicit instruction set is crucial. It guides the downstream models much more effectively. The paper shows that this approach leads to videos that are rated higher in narrative consistency, dynamic expressiveness, and overall filmic quality compared to previous methods. The storytelling feels more guided, more intentional.
That's so cool. It's giving the AI a crash course in film theory. But Ji-young, you always have the critical lens. What are the practical challenges here? This sounds computationally heavy. And who defines what the correct cinematic language is for a scene? Isn't that subjective?
Great questions, Isabel. You've hit on two major points. First, yes, this recursive multi-agent process is more complex and slower than a simpler pipeline. There's a trade-off between quality and speed cost. Second, and more importantly, the cinematic language database they use to inject these styles. It's based on established film conventions, but art evolves. A truly creative director might break those rules for effect. Is the AI learning to mimic convention? Or can it learn to innovate? Also, biases in the training data for what constitutes a powerful shot or a sad scene could be reinforced.
Those are very valid concerns. The framework is a tool, and like any tool, its output depends on the data and design. The current goal is to achieve competent, conventional filmic storytelling, pushing it to true directorial creativity. That is the next frontier, the balance between following rules and inventing new visual grammar.
So we have a system that's learning the established language of film to tell better, more coherent stories. It's not yet the next great auteur director, but it's becoming an incredibly skilled cinematographer and editor who understands the basic rules of visual storytelling. That in itself is a huge leap forward.
Agreed, the practical applications are significant. For prototyping, for education, for content creation, where a certain level of narrative polish is needed without a full film crew. It raises the floor for AI-generated video quality.
Fantastic. Well, that was a deep dive into the director's chair of AI. Thank you, JJ, for the systematic breakdown, and thank you, Jiyoung, for the critical perspective.
Thank you, Isabel.
Thanks.
And thank you all for watching. We'll see you in the next one.